Hey, fourth graders. I promised you that I would make a video about the lesson on dividing. And you can see this is a very high quality video in my bedroom with a whiteboard leaning against the wall. But I have to teach Kate how to do this, and it reminded me I need to let you guys know how to do it in case you're struggling with this lesson. So we're going to do 2 problems, and I'm going to show you, well, actually we may do 3. And I'm going to show you a few different ways for dividing. So let's look at this one. Now, you guys know that divide, what it means is we have 157, and we need to know how many groups of 23 are in the 157. Now, the way that all of us probably grew up trying to learn this is we would go down the side of the paper and we would say 23 times 1 is 23. 23 times 2 is 46. 23 times 3 is 69. 23 times 4. Now look at this, you guys. I'm still really far away from 157. So I can sit here and keep trying and trying and trying, or I can look at the number and try to come up with a really good guess. So I'm going to teach you guys a trick on how to come up with your best guess so that you don't have to sit there and do this for 100 years. Okay, so I'm going to erase that for a second. Are you listening, Kate? I know. A few people have come in and out of the room, so it's a little crazy here, but we're going to, well, I'm videoing it. Yeah?
Tape.
I don't know. Let me finish this and I'll help you.
But you don't.
All right. So what I want to show you is if you have a 2-digit number here, you can look at this number, the number that's in the ones place. If this number is a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. Now, Kate, is this a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4?
It's a 3.
It's a 3, so there it is.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens, if it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, what we're going to do is we are going to do something called estimate with a 2. Okay? Why are we using a 2? Because this is a 2. So we take that first number and we say we're going to estimate with it. So let's look at this 2. We're going to ask ourselves, how many times could a 2 go into 15? Okay, what do you think? 2,
4, 6, 8, 12, 10.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So it could go in 7 times, right? So what that means is 7 is our very best guess. So what I'm going to do over here on the side is I'm going to say, what is 23 times 7?
21.
Okay.
14, 15, 16.
16. Okay.
So 160. That one, but it doesn't go.
So that's
65.
going to be too high. So what should we do?
32 times 6.
23
23, sorry.
times 6. Well, let's try that. That would be 18, 12, 13, 138.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I want you to notice, Kate, is we estimated with a 2, how many times would a 2 go into 15? But when we actually do the multiplication for it, we go back and use this whole number. We don't estimate anymore. So we're going with this route. So we're going to say 23 goes into 157 6 times, and that's 138. Now let's subtract it. We've got to borrow. 17 minus 8
Is
9, and that's a 4. 4 minus 3 is a 1. So we have a remainder of 19. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Yeah.
I have a question. What if the higher number is here and the lower number is here?
It doesn't matter. You're always going to look in the ones place to decide what to do here.
Okay.
So in this one, because it was a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, you estimated with this number.
But what if it wasn't?
Ah, so glad you asked. Let's try problem number. I didn't even say that at the beginning of the lesson. That was problem from lesson 86, 1A. And now we're going to do 1D. So 1D says this. It says, let me write it down. 168 divided by 37. Now, you know what to do if this is a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, but I don't
But it's
know
not.
It's not.
If the number in the ones place is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9.
But it's that one.
Is it one of these?
It is.
It is a 7, so it falls in this category. You take this number and add 1.
So 4.
So we're going to estimate with a 4. So how many times would a 4, how many times would a 4 go into a 1? It couldn't, right? So that's why we go to the next one. How many times does 4 go into 16?
12, 16, 4 times.
4 times. So what that means is we need to estimate that it's going to go in 4 times. So we're going to multiply 37. Remember, you don't say 4 times 4. You come back for this number and you're going to say 37 times 4. All right, so help me out with multiplication here.
Okay, 7, 14.
Make sure that's working.
28.
Okay, 4 times 7 is 28.
And then 4 times 3. 12. And then 14.
12, 14.
14.
148.
Okay.
All right.
Work.
So that does work. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our 4 over here. 4 times 37 is 148. Now let's subtract it.
8 minus 8 is 0.
0. 6 minus 4
Is
2. So could 37 have gone in that?
2.
Nope. So we have a remainder of 20.
But we could do.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to, you could have said, instead of remainder 20, you could have said 4 and 20 37ths.
And then you'd have to do some. Wait, no. If it was.
Yeah.
I thought
You can't make that get any smaller. So does this make sense that if in the ones column it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you go up, you take this number and go up 1 for your estimating.
What if it's higher than that?
Well, those are your only choices are going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh,
Those are the
yeah.
only digits that could be there.
Right.
So that's it. Now there is one other thing I want to show you. So we're going to do really quickly. We're going to do problem on lesson 86. We're going to do 1B. Now, let's look at 1B. It says 437 divided by 98. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So now look, what you can do for this one is you can do the same thing we just did. We can look at this number and say, well, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Is it in that category?
Yeah.
And then we could go up 1, which would make this 10,
Or can we
Which-
do it the same?
which still works. But what is really important to me about division is before you start dividing, I want you to think about it. So, Kate, what is the number 98 really close to?
100.
98 is so close to 100. So we could still estimate with a 10. Hang on, we're making a video. But 98 is really close to 100. So it's really easy to estimate with 100. How many times would 100 go into 437?
4 times.
It would go in 4 times. So to me, that's just the easiest way to think about it. So we're going to say 98 times 4. Remember, when you estimate, you still have to come back to this number. So let's look at this. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32.
32. So it would be 30. 32.
9 times 4.
4 would be 36.
Plus 3.
That would be 39.
37, 38, 39. You got it. So that would be 392. So that's going to work, isn't it? So let's put our 4 here. We'll say 392. Is that what we got? And now subtract. 7 minus 2.
5.
We need to borrow here because it's 3 minus 9. 13 minus 9.
That'd be 4.
4. So we get a remainder of 45. Okay? So do you see how this one, we still could have done that. We could have said how many times does 10 go into 43? And we still would have gotten 4. But for me, I just want you to look at it and just think, to 100. So that works too. All right, that leaves you guys 1F on that lesson to do by yourself. I hope this video helped you. So if you have any questions, let me know. Say bye to your friends.
Bye.
See you guys on Zoom on Thursday.